We get a 1, personal space, 2, personal space, 3.
Hey, hello listeners. This is just a quick disclaimer for this week's episode. As anyone that's listened to the show before knows, there can be some adult language, and anyone that's listening for the first time, please keep that in mind. We tend to be ourselves and not filter, so occasionally a bad word might come out. If you have any children in the room, please put on some headphones or have them put on some headphones. Thank you.
That I don't even care about this. I'm not even interested in having this skin on my personal space.
You're listening to the IDP Guys with Sean, John, and Nathan, the Wizards of Fantasy Football. Your go-to source for the individual defensive player strategy. And now, 3 guys who could only make an NFL team on Madden.
Hey, welcome to the IDP Guys. Look at me. I am the captain now. I'm your host this week, Orange Man 3142. Nate's getting married. We got Sean as usual. Sean, how are you?
I'm good.
That's great. And this week's special guest at FF_Banterman, one of our writers who has not been murdered in the jungles of Vietnam yet and has survived the season so far. So, Todd, welcome to the show.
Happy to be here, gents. Ready to banter.
Absolutely. So, we'll get started with the opening question. So Sean talked about this a couple weeks ago. It's getting to that point of the year where if your team's done, you're starting to collect picks for next year. So who are some of the guys that you guys are already looking at for the first couple rounds? Because Todd, I know you do a lot of Devy. Sean, you look at all kinds of college tape. I got my first Rashad Bateman share this last year. In the,
nice.
The one Devy league I'm in, I was able to grab him. But yeah, so who are some of the? I mean, the obvious guys are obvious, but who do you guys want like in the first couple of rounds, like now before we know too much more?
Obviously, yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I'll give the obvious ones because, like for me, I don't start doing my film research because I don't play Devy, so I don't do my film research until it comes around time to start doing research for the NFL draft. Just because I feel like that gives me less of a bias against these players. If I start looking into them too early, I pick my favorites and I stick to my guns, and it doesn't work out as well. So the kind of obvious ones in Superflex, your first 2 picks are going to be Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. You're going to feel good about both those. Running back Travis Etienne, who would have been probably first-round pick this past year if he would have come out. And he definitely should have come out for sure, 100%. Yep. Najee Harris, different kind of back, a little more of a contact balance guy. He was another one that I watched last year, though, and really liked. Receivers, obviously, looking at the top guys, I think Jamar Chase is pretty much the consensus number 1 as of right now. Rashad Bateman's great. I'm sure we'll talk about the recent injury to a player that was probably a lock for the first round, but we got a lot of talent at wide receiver. If you're looking for a wide receiver, this is your best year to do it, aside from maybe this past year. And then tight end, Pitts is just crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. And there are at least 3 other guys behind him that are going to be super valuable in tight end premium. So your whole first round right now is basically loaded immediately right now. And that's without even looking into some of the guys that are going to break out. Todd, go ahead.
Yeah, so on top of those guys, I think that Kyle Trask and Mac Jones have been kind of busting out, so they're going to be guys to look at in Superflex. Obviously, with anything in the draft, landing spot and draft capital means the world. But I think that what Trask is doing particularly right now is he's starting to end, day 1, day 2 conversations. That's that end of the first round, second round kind of a pick. I'm still all about Jalen Waddle. I still think that he'll be a phenomenal value at the end of the first round. He's a special kind of athlete. But the guy I don't think that anybody's really talking about, and it totally makes sense because he opted out, is Kenny Gainwell. I think Kenny Gainwell, who people don't realize, that even though he's a sophomore, he's a redshirt sophomore, so he's like eligible to come out this year. That's a complete back. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can break tackles. He can make you miss. He's a guy that end of the first round, early second round, phenomenal running back to target, who's going to bring a lot of value there. And then what Sean said, the reason why I think that this draft is so interesting compared to 2020 is it's so similar because even that depth in the second rounds there, like there was in this last draft, where you got guys like Terrence Marshall, who's making the most out of his opportunity with Chase gone. Tylan Wallace is a beast, and he's a guy who might not be in the first round, and he is a legit pro wide receiver. Seth,
is he Texas Tech?
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. Okay, I'm trying to remember because, like, I don't do my film research until later in the year, but he was one that flashed when I was watching.
Well, he was an All-American last year too. So,
right.
Like, once he catches the ball after the catch, he's dangerous, but he's also strong. So he's the kind of guy that I really like, and that's obviously landing spot. Tutu Atwell is a guy nobody's talking about. He's made for the slot in the NFL. So those are the kind of guys that I'm looking for. So the thing is like, if you're looking to rebuild, you're going to have to spend the capital in the first round. Second round picks for 2021, they're going to be easier to come by. Granted, I traded all mine for guys like Juju and Barkley in trades, but it hurt to do that. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, that round is going to be stocked with value.
Have you looked at Zach Wilson at QB for BYU at all?
I actually was thinking about doing an article on him. He's the guy that I kind of feel like if you were going to do like rankings for coming out this year,
he's probably 3.
No, I'd probably say that a lot of people might not even put him top 5 right now, but he could deserve that. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
I think I need to dive in. Like Trey Lance is still a myth. You know what I mean? You still got Fields. You still got, Lawrence, Trask, Jack, Mac Jones has been phenomenal. People really still like Jamie Newman, who I don't, Brock Purdy's done. He sucks this year. He's absolutely blown up his spot. So he was a guy that I bought into, and I'm out already.
I hated him last year.
Yeah, I liked him. I did, and now
I hate
this year
him.
I'm like, all right, time to get out. So yeah.
Maybe I guess I don't know where the Devi pulse is here, but from what I've seen so far, Zach Wilson's my easy clear-cut 3 over Trey Lance.
And I think that it's heading in that direction. I think, especially even after this week, it's definitely possible. I would say when it comes to rankings, Debbie rankings are all over the place because I feel like people didn't really know how to approach the season. In fact, I'm actually in the process of redoing my own rankings because I haven't touched them in a few months. So Wilson's the number one guy that I'm most intrigued by, and he's a guy that I could easily see being the first round in Superflex drafts when we get to that point. But right now, I don't think it's there yet.
I think he's locked first rounder.
We shall see. Definitely early. No one said Rondale Moore. I'm disappointed in both of you.
Well,
I thought that he spewed him off at one point. I just was like, okay, he's saying all the big names, so I just won't say anything.
I was saying all the big names.
It's fine.
I only listed 2 at each position, so whatever.
All good. I'm just ready. I'm ready for
easy route out of that one.
Yeah.
I did. I haven't watched these guys yet. It's just the guys I watched last year,
Right. I just want actual college fantasy to be back too. I missed that. That was so much fun. Anyway, we'll get to that. It'll come back. All right. So how'd you guys do this week, Sean? Lead it off.
I think I won 16 out of 22, which is not a great week. The bigger problem was that the leagues that I lost in were leagues that I was doing really well in, and all the leagues that I kind of committed to the rebuild, I just stumbled into wins and hurt my draft stock. So now I'm now I got a lot of leagues sitting there in the middle, and it's man, I tried so hard to not end up in the middle in any of these leagues, and this is just what happened.
Todd, how about you? How'd you do this week?
It was a rough week, 7-5. One of those wins that Sean stumbled into was against me, where I was in first place. That sucked.
He tried to trade me for Tyler Lockett, and we couldn't get a deal done just because I'm not a big KJ Hamler or Michael Gallup guy. And so we couldn't get a deal done. I'm playing him that week, and then Tyler Lockett goes off for 50 against him.
Yeah.
It sucked. I think I lost by 50. So yeah. So it was a rough week, though. I also lost to Joey by like 4 points after some epic trash talking on Twitter. So that hurt.
That's how that went down, huh?
Yeah, Aaron Donald did not show up for me. And
dude, me too. I lost to Tom K by less than a point, and I had Donald going. I needed just a little tiny bit more.
His adorable daughter is still taunting me. It's messed up. Yeah. So, my big thing is that I'm still undefeated in my home league, where I'm trying to go with a 3-peat in Dynasty. Spaceman's in that league, and I definitely remind him all the time that I'm beating the crap out of him.
As you should.
Of course. But the big highlight is I finally got Travis Etienne. I finally traded for him. I finally got a share of him. That's my guy. I actually would take him over Fields in Superflex drafts. I said it. But yeah, but I didn't give up a lot. I gave up Isaiah Spiller, Mark Ingram, John Emery, and then like the supplemental first round pick that's probably going to be like Jamie Newman or like Tutu Atwell.
Yeah, no, that's a killer deal.
I was pretty excited. I was like, I'm just going to stack a lot of nice pieces together and hope that this does it. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. I was like,
a lot of nice pieces and Mark Ingram.
Well, he's a nice name.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So
Good
Travis Etienne saved me.
Yeah, no, that's a nice deal. I had a decent week, 5-3 in Yahoo, 13-1 in Sleeper. My one was Sean. 13-1. One is Sean. That's unbelievable. 1-3 in my fantasy league. $293 in DFS. We'll talk about that later.
Nice.
And not eliminated in the eliminator. So that's how we did. We'll get into news in just a second here.
What's up, guys? It's Josh,
Adam,
and Bobby
here with the Big 3 IDP Podcast. And if you've never listened to our show before, here's just a taste of the insanity that you will get week in and week out with the Big 3 IDP Podcast.
Skunks are so cute.
We just ate White Castle at like 10:45 at night.
I tell you, one I liked about it a little bit more was Jeffrey Simmons.
Ooh, did you say a Bartman, like Steve Bartman? I don't like Bartman in Chicago this year. He's going to catch too many foul balls.
You know it's all about getting real and getting down to business and getting down to the facts.
Slide 'em in, slide 'em out.
It's right.
So, if you would like more of the shenanigans that you just heard in these little snippets, be sure to subscribe to the Big 3 IDP Podcast wherever you get your podcast adding. Listeners are guaranteed to have a good time.
Hey, you can't afford not to do this, baby.
That's right, baby.
This week's news.
Alrighty. Another, it's not that bad news week. It is mostly bad, though, like usual. We'll start with the news of the week, and it's not AB to the Bucks. It's Yannick Ngakoue to the Ravens.
I love that.
I like it, too.
Nasty defense gets nastier.
Yep.
What's not to love?
Yeah.
Just in time for the Pittsburgh game, too. Like, right in time.
Yep.
Well, and they blitz a lot. And so I think, like, as much as, having talent on the other side doesn't help you all that much, the blitzing does, because it takes away blockers that could potentially pick you up. So I like him there a lot.
Yep, me as well. Okay, Odell Beckham whines and cries and then blows his ACL out, done for the season. Thoughts, gentlemen?
I don't know anything about the whining and crying, but him
that
going
was
out for the season.
that was the 4-2 feels like 0-6, and that you didn't see that?
I did see that.
It's okay, but like, this is the problem: is that like, if Tom Brady said that, people would be like, "Oh, he's a competitor." But Odell Beckham says it, so it's whining and crying.
But Odell Beckham's always saying stuff like that.
Right,
Because he cares. He wants to
crap
win.
He has a pattern of behavior, man. Come on.
He has a pattern of wanting to win. He doesn't have any bullshit where it's like, oh yeah, like bitch about my quarterback, bitch about the play calling, any of that. It's none of that. It's always like, I want to win mentality. And I don't know why with him specifically, people have just determined that he's a crybaby, where it's like, no, this dude is a competitor and he wants to win. And if they're not winning every game, he's not happy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he does tend to complain.
Yeah.
So that's why people complain
about not winning.
whines.
About not winning. He's vocal about not wanting to lose.
Yeah, if the dump on his chest isn't fresh enough to, stuff
Truth.
like that. Yeah.
Truth. Well, I
But
understand
anyway,
that. Makes
no,
sense.
seriously though, Beckham ACL. Are you guys buying the Higgins replacement thing? Like,
I bought Higgins
All day.
the week before, 2 weeks
Yeah.
before.
Yep. He's the guy that if you're like, in a deep league and it's nobody on the wire, clean out your bank. I don't really see anything better coming from there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody, I'm buying big time.
I have, I think, 60% Higgins shares right now, and I would have more, but he's gone in the other 40. So,
gotcha. Okay.
I'm trying to get 3 right now.
Antonio Brown is back, and he's going to the Bucks. Any of you interested? I'm not.
yes, because Godwin is out now.
Yeah, it's. I heard it's only a week though. Finger surgery. He'll be back in a week after this week.
I think that's all it takes. With Mike Evans not playing well and Chris Godwin being out, all it takes is one Antonio Brown 25-point game to be able to sell him for a first-round pick to a competitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I guess you're right.
I picked up Antonio in a couple of places. I'm just stashing him just because, we'll see what happens. I mean, the guy's an all-time talent. We'll see what happens. But if there was anything I could do is I could see whatever I can get from Mike Evans right now. And if I don't like the price, then I'll just hold,
Yeah.
But I would have tried to move Mike Evans like yesterday, like it would have been before this signing, but
the problem is there was no window where it was like the first 2 weeks he had touchdowns, but he had like 2 yards both weeks.
Yeah.
So the window was the
window.
offseason, really.
Right.
So,
Which, but you couldn't have seen that coming. Like, he's 26 years old.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I think
he's
what you're going to see coming is that Godwin was the preferred guy. You know what I mean? Like, that's where the consistency was going to come in. You know what I mean?
But there was volume for both of them last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess for me, it was just like there was never a window. And now, like, I put him up on the trade block in one league where it's just like, yeah, like I need some assets here. This team is not performing. I need some assets. And I think the best offer I got was a second and a fourth. And it's like, I'm not selling him for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll see what happens with it. Landon Collins done for the season. The injury Grim Reaper strikes again. Not ideal. He had a huge game too. Like,
he sure did.
So it looks
he was
like
playing very well for me against Joey, and then he went down.
Yeah, looks like Troy Apke's a thing again, huh? We'll see. So that was great. Did you guys watched Sunday Night Football, right? Did you hear the Akeem Hicks 40 beers story?
Yes, I don't think it's real. I don't think that's real.
There's an article. He was interviewed about it. He said it was real.
He says it's real.
I mean,
if I tell you I drank 40 beers, do you believe me?
No.
You're not Akeem Hicks.
Yeah. He's a large man.
Yeah, but he also was chasing them with chicken wings, dude. That the man was doing it the right way. If he was gonna, I guess if there is a right way to do that.
And they started at noon.
Yeah.
And left at night. So it wasn't like 40 beers in 20 minutes.
But let's keep this straight. Wade Boggs would drink that dude under the table. All right. And my favorite.
We should set this up. We should set this up. We should make this happen.
One of my favorite things, I read the Dream Team book a few years ago. One of my favorite things is they do the chapter where they're all partying in Morocco. and it's beer. It's Larry Bird's in there for one sentence. He goes, "Bird came down, saw the price of beer, and got drunk in the hotel room for the whole time." It's like, love Bird. It's good stuff.
Nice. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I've always liked Hakeem Hicks. That just makes him more relatable. That should probably be in notes, but whatever. It's newsworthy. Dez Bryant to the Ravens practice squad. You guys picking up any Dez Bryant?
Nope. Move on.
No.
Well, Sean, you also said nope to all of the Eagles on the waivers last week that blew the hell up. So you've known to be wrong from time to time.
I have been known to be wrong from time to time, not on guys that are on the practice squad. I'm pretty good at those, a la Jermichael Hasty and JJ Taylor so far this year. But no.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing it either, but
No, so the Eagles this past week, to be fair, we did not expect Deshaun Jackson to go down immediately. Also, to be fair, the Alshon Jeffrey situation has been a total fucking shit show where it's like, dude, if he's going to be out till week 8, why is he not on the IR?
Yeah.
Why are we playing this game every week? So it was really looking like we were going to have Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson back. We didn't. And here we are.
Yeah, they whoever of those guys plays, Fulgham, Rodgers, whatever, they're gonna eat this week. That's for goddamn sure.
I didn't really like Dez in 2017, so I'm not gonna like him in 2020. So
yeah, I think I made the mistake of drafting him for the first because I didn't ever really like him. I think I drafted him for the first time like the year that he just like fell apart, and it was like, yeah, okay, great.
Yeah.
I still
like
hate
him as
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I like him as a person, but he hasn't been a good player in a minute. Okay, we talked about this briefly. Chris Godwin, finger surgery, out at least week 8. We'll see what happens after that.
How do you only out 1 week with a finger surgery when your job is catching a ball?
Yeah,
well, that's what they said.
I don't know. You ever looked
quite
at
a velocity, my
You ever looked at pictures of Calvin Johnson's fingers? It's not pretty.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so this is when I started writing notes. Everson Griffin on the trading block. Update, Everson Griffin to Detroit. Sean, you like this, right?
So I don't think Everson Griffin's that good anymore. He hasn't performed well. Hopefully a change of scenery helps him. I was terrified by this trade when it went through before I saw the compensation because Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia are fighting for their job. They're in a Bill O'Brien situation where it's like they are in the position to sell the house of the future to try and win a couple extra games and save their jobs. Luckily, it was only a 6th-round pick, so I don't hate this. I have no idea how it's going to work out. I don't even know where he's going to play on that defensive line. To be totally honest, it's a weird fit right now.
Yes.
I agree.
That's true. Yep. Okay, Kenyon Drake out several weeks. Edmonds time, right?
Yep. As it should be, because Kenyon
excited.
Drake's been garbage.
Okay.
Yep.
I think we all agree on that.
Absolutely. He's not giving the ball back.
Yeah, I hope so. Chris Carson injury. I haven't seen an update on this. It's Hyde at least this week, I think, right?
Yeah.
It says out a few weeks.
Oh, shit.
What does a few weeks mean? Nobody knows.
More than one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because
wouldn't it be a week if it was one?
Right, but a few weeks would mean 3. So if it's 2, they're lying to us. And I feel like they could be lying to us. If it's 4, they're lying to us. So unless it's exactly 3, they're lying to us. So
isn't Penny eligible after this week to come back?
Yeah, I know this because my brother just went on a super passive aggressive, I don't know. I just really want Penny. I just really like him and whatever to rant to try and con me into selling him. And I did, but I got full price for him. But yeah.
Yeah, not ideal.
Nope.
We'll see what happens. Okay, I think that's it. Did I miss anything? I finished this 4 hours ago. Did anything else happen besides Everson Griffin?
DK Metcalf chased down Tyler Lockett.
Buda Baker. But
Buda
yeah,
Baker. Yeah, not Tyler Lockett.
that's pretty cool, by the way.
No, but that was awesome, and the memes
Yeah.
are amazing.
Oh, phenomenal.
They are really good. That was a wild
Did you
game.
hear the audio?
Yes.
Yeah, the audio out now where he's like,
How did he get me? Yeah.
how did he catch my ass? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then you can hear in the background right before he tackles him, DK just goes, "Gotcha." It's so good.
And the defense stepped up. Like, that was wild. That was absolutely wild. They
Yep.
It was a good game.
probably should have won
Phenomenal
that game.
game.
Great game. And God wanted me to win in DFS this week. The Hawkinson touchdown, Galladay, the Wilson interception. I won by 0.5 point in all those tournaments I won.
Wow.
Yeah, the Lockett thing. So I had DK locked in everywhere. And then I was like, Patrick Peterson, where's he going to be? Probably on DK, right? But he was on both at some points in that game. Yeah. But it was mostly DK, I believe, because Drake Kirkpatrick got roasted on Twitter for just getting roasted, period. So yeah, the Lockett thing worked out. I don't know. It was just great. And I'm going to get a new driver out of it. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank the fantasy gods in person. All right. Moving on.
MyFantasyFootballShirt.com is your place to get top quality fantasy football gear. Get yourself some merch from some of your favorite podcasts. Need some custom shirts for your league? Contact us today. Just go to MyFantasyFootballShirt.com.
Gut check.
Alrighty, it's that time. It's the part of the show where we take two sets of defenders and one set of offensive guys, pair them together, and see who do you want and why. Last week's see that was so easy. How does Nate?
That was so easy. I don't know how he makes it so complicated. I've talked to him so many times. It's like you don't have to explain. Just say, who do you like more? That's it.
That's it. That's
who do
all
you
this
like?
is.
Which one of these guys do you like?
Jesus. Congratulations, Nate, by the way, if you listen to this, when you listen to this. All right, so we got last week's results, and they're interesting. So last week we had pair corners, Troy Hill, Rams, and Logan Ryan, Giants. It was Logan Ryan, obviously. 78% to 22%, 87 votes, so that was good. This one was interesting. Pair of edge guys. Behind TJ Watt is the 2 and 3 edge right now. Zadarius Smith, Packers. Shaq Barrett, Bucks. 50-50.
Who do you have?
108 votes. I had Zadarius.
I do too.
Okay, me too. Yep.
Yeah. But that's crazy. 50-50. And this one's
been good though.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's been solid too. That whole defense, that's the best defense in the NFL right now. It is, like, statistically. It's crazy.
Based on DVOA or yards?
Whatever. Yards, passing, running, when you put all that shit together, whatever that's called.
Okay.
Okay. So last but not least, Sean, this one's gonna hurt a little bit. Baker Mayfield or Joe Burrow, 114 votes, 96% Joe Burrow.
To be fair, I took Joe Burrow. I just hated myself for it.
And maybe they both went off though, if we're being honest. Like Burrow did fine that game.
Okay, so here's the crazy thing. Mayfield had 6 incomplete passes, I think. His first 5 passes were incomplete. So then he went the rest of the game with 1 incomplete pass and 5 touchdowns.
I know. He went crazy. I had him going in a few places. I enjoyed it.
I would have gone Burrow too. He's been impressive, man. And like that place, it's hard to like lead a dumpster fire, you know?
Yep.
So, and he's done pretty well for a rookie in that.
Absolutely.
FYI, Tampa Bay is number 1 in DVOA as well. So top in everything.
Sweet. What is I don't even know what that is. What is DVOA?
It's basically a metric that measures quality of defense without just using yards and points. So it measures actual performance over expected average.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it looks at them in terms of like who they're playing against and how they did against them compared to how other people will do against them.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, they passed the eye test too. That's for damn sure.
Yes.
Giants are in trouble this week.
Yes, they are.
Oh man, not going to be pretty. Anyway, all right. This week we start with a pair of running backs. These guys are actually only 2 fantasy points apart in the league I took this from. So, do you want Dalvin Cook, Minnesota, 489 rush yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, 12 receptions for 64 yards, 0 receiving touchdowns, 1 fumble on the season, or Aaron Jones of the Packers, 389 rush yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 18 receptions, 161 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns? I think I'll take Jones just because he's a little less made of glass. What do you guys think?
Are we talking about for next week for the rest of the year?
Yeah. Also, you're saying this as Aaron Jones is out and Dalvin Cook is not. But
yeah. But historically, traditionally,
sure, you can give multiple answers to this in terms of like dynasty versus redraft. But for me, if we're looking at redraft, I'm taking Dalvin Cook because he's healthy. If we're looking at dynasty, I think I'm still taking Dalvin Cook just because I don't know if Aaron Jones will be back with the Packers. And I think a large portion of his success is due to the scheme.
That's fair. I'm also dynasty for Dalvin Cook. I find it ironic when we talk about who's going to be where when they're both in weird contract situations, and
Dalvin Cook just got the extension.
Oh, that's true. I'm stuck on that. Yep. I forgot about that, honestly. Okay. So anyways, Dalvin Cook. But Dalvin Cook, who I just also think is a better football player. All right. For redraft this year, actually, I'm a runaway with Aaron Jones. And it's because playoffs, Cook sees Tampa, Chicago, and the Saints, where Jones is facing the Cowardly Lions, Panthers, and the Tennessee Titans.
Oh my God! Yeah,
that's not even comparable.
Titans are tough.
The Titans have been running all over multiple times. Dalvin Cook tore them apart.
Sure.
But my point is like, you're talking about 2 of the better run defenses in the Chicago's fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, but the playoff matchup's not even close. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And but anyways,
I can accept that answer.
Yeah, no, I like
thanks,
it.
Sean. I appreciate that. I have your approval.
If they were both healthy every game for the rest of the year, I'm taking Aaron Jones. The problem is he's hurt right now, and anything can happen in terms of complications.
Cook's already been hurt too.
Yeah, right.
But he's not hurt right now.
Right, and Jones could have gone this week. He could have.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't want him.
Sure, but then he re-aggravates it in practice, and there's a certain amount of risk there. That's all.
Yep. No, I hear you. And Todd, that's far more analysis than we usually get out of our 30 analyst spot here. So thank you.
Look at week 14, 15, and 16 right now, people.
That's not a bad idea. Okay. So pair of safeties. These guys are pretty close as well. They're both young bucks too, young cheek splitters. John Johnson, Rams, 31 solo tackles, 20 assists, 2 tackles for loss, no sacks, no QB hits, no forced fumbles, 5 pass defense, 1 pick. Jeremy Chin, Panthers, 32 solo tackles, 25 assists, 1 tackle for loss, 1 QB hit, 0 sacks, 0 forced fumbles, 4 pass defense, 1 pick. And I believe I'm going to take Chin, but not by much. I'm happy with either. I don't really have a scientific reason. I just feel like he might play a tiny bit more defense than John Johnson. What do you guys think?
For me, John Johnson is currently the better player. Jeremy Chin has the way higher upside because he's playing a lot of linebacker and he's super athletic. But he also is not playing as good a football. He's putting up good numbers, but he's not playing as good a football, in my opinion. And so we don't know how sustainable this is, especially as a rookie where it's like, okay, like he could have just flashed a couple of weeks and maybe it's just a flash in the pan. Maybe that's just what it is. We don't know long-term what it's going to look like, what his development looks like, whereas we know what John Johnson looks like. So if we're looking at 2 guys who could potentially both be high end, I'm taking the guy that is definitely high end right now. over the guy that is probably going to be high end at some point.
Chins for me for Dynasty. Just pretty much what Sean said for the upside. If I'm contending right now, I want Johnson. Like, I want that guy who I'm going to have more trust with consistency. I also think he's attached to, a better defense, and that's who I'm looking to go with. So if I'm competing, I want Johnson. If I'm looking long-term, I'm going Chin.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, pair of linebackers. These guys are also close. Pair of Smiths. Roquan Smith, Bears, 44 solo tackles, 16 assists, 8 tackles for loss, 0 QB hits, 0 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 4 pass defense, no picks. Jalen Smith, Cowboys, 39 solo tackles, 36 assists, 5 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits, half a sack, no forced fumbles, 2 pass defense, 0 picks. And 3 weeks ago, I probably would have said Roquan, but now I'm going to say Jalen because I feel like he's going to play more defense at this point. There's no one else there either. There's Van Der Esch, and that's it.
He's been so bad this year, though. Like, have you seen
I know.
the clips?
I saw the Marcus Mosher thing of him missing horribly on that.
It's not even that. It's like, if you look at that, you look at the PFF grade, you look at anything that measures it, and then you just watch the eye test. It's just like, he hasn't been good this year, and that hurts me to say that because I've been a huge believer in him heading into this year.
No one's been good over there.
I'm going with Roquan.
Yep. I freaking love Roquan, man. That was like
I do too.
I want to say he was 2 or 3 on my rankings for linebackers coming in preseason. I just think he's a freak, dude. I love him. So all day. He hasn't given me a reason not to think that yet, too.
Yeah, and
I agree
that
entirely.
That offense is not great either. He's going to play a lot of defense.
We had the conversation a while back about Tremaine Edmonds versus Roquan with Tom K, and I took Roquan all day. It's like, sorry, he's a better player. It's going to last longer.
I would probably need a 15-second pause to really think about that, but I'd probably also say Roquan.
It's a tough one. For me, I just think Roquan's the better player.
I think what you're looking at when you're looking at Edmonds versus him is Edmonds is going to be the more consistent guy where Roquan has that bigger upside. Like, I don't think we've seen the best of Roquan, where with Edwards, I think we're seeing what the best is. You know what I
agree.
All righty. All right, it's the listener questions. They're questions from listeners. We take them from the Slack chat, and sometimes we get random emails from Outlook accounts, and those are always entertaining. Keep them coming. All righty, at Done3 in our Slack chat asks, thoughts on Marcus May? I can re-sign him for 4 years in a contract league for minimal cost, but I don't want to get stuck with dead cap if he's not a long-term part of that defense. I don't really have an opinion that's going to matter. What do you guys think?
I think he's long-term part of that defense. He was one of my favorite safeties from that class. I believe he was in the Jabril Peppers class because I think I took a lot of shit for grading him above Jabril Peppers. Because I think that was also the Buda Baker, where I think I had Buda Baker and Marcus May both above Jabril Peppers and just got shredded for it. But yeah, I think he's a good player. He's playing well. He's great in coverage, and being great in coverage gives you longevity. It doesn't always give you IDP points, but it gives you longevity. So if this is what you're looking at for points from him, I think this is probably, if you're okay with what he's doing right now, you're going to be okay with him for the next 4 years, because I think he at least is starting there for the next 2.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think whatever you think Sean said, but at the same time, you're talking about at the minimum, right? So you're not really putting a huge investment into that, and the upside totally outweighs the risk. And also, if he's not in the plans in that defense, he's going to be in some defenses plans. Like, he's proven that he's a starter in the league.
Somebody wants somebody who can cover. Always.
Yeah, exactly. So, invest with confidence.
Yeah, that's not the safety you need to worry about on the Jets. It's McDougald. Yikes. Yeah, it's gonna be seriously. It's gonna be Ashton Davis season soon. I was just looking at that before we.
Well,
I got
problem
him
is
in multiple places. I can't wait. Can't wait.
I don't know what they do with Ashton Davis.
Play him, please. Play him.
He's taking snaps right now from McDougal.
Yeah, please play him.
McDougal plays the strong safety though. Like that's what
I saw it. It happened.
Right. I'm wondering if they're just like playing with one safety, one high safety, and then just playing, Ashton Davis as like a slot corner, basically, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Ashton Davis does have an aggressive play style. You know what I mean? I don't think he's got the ideal size to do that, but I mean, he's got the mentality. You know what I mean? He was a guy he was like the safety I fell in love with pre-draft. Like,
yeah. He was either a first or second rounder for me. I don't remember where he was at, but he was top 45, top 50.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you show a guy in track practice, it gets me excited.
Alrighty. Well-known member of the Slack chat, Joe G. The heart of the machine there in the Slack chat wants to know: rest of the season only, Tyrell Adams or Leighton Vander Esch, mein Scheiße. Man, I think you're happy with both, but LVE gets dinged up a lot. Adams
I'm going LV.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going Adams.
I'm going LV.
I'll go LV. I think take a risk, go big, go for the guy that could be the difference maker. Doesn't work out, still a streamable position.
Well, I mean, Adams has been fine, better than fine. First.
I totally agree. I'm just saying that when you talk about ceiling, when it comes down to it, I think LV just offers it.
He's got a great ceiling, but I'm having Sean Lee flashbacks with this guy already. You know what I mean?
I think when you talk about floor too, though, like Tyrell Adams, like could just disappear in 4 weeks.
He's got the green dot now.
Sure, and so did Jared Davis.
Okay, I'm just saying he's done well. He's got plenty of playing time. He's been productive. He displaced Ham. Like, I'm okay with that. He's great. Yeah. I will literally bet anything he does not play every game the rest of this season. Anything.
All right.
I mean, I'm not against Adams either. I just rather take the upside. That's it.
Yep. Alrighty. And last but not least, from Chauncey Gardner, loves the Johnson at Outlook.com, asks, is Jeff Garcia correct? Should Cam Newton spend less time looking like a flamboyant European fashionista and more time studying his playbook? Is there hope for the Patriots this season?
I love when Johnny makes up fake Outlook accounts just to piss me off.
You like that, though? Chauncey Gardner loves the Johnson.
No, Cam can do whatever the fuck he wants off the field because who the hell cares? It's not like he's missing practice to do to do fashion shoots. Like, this isn't affecting his play. If he's not playing well, it's because he's not playing well. That's it. So he just needs to play better. As far as the Patriots being done,
yeah. What do you think on that?
They're not done. They might be done this year, but Bill Belichick is good.
Right. No, you never shove
dynamite analysis, man. Bill Belichick is good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
he is.
Bill Belichick is good, and
he
he'll
got
get
Matt
the most.
Patricia a job,
Oh God,
Jesus, Todd, why don't you?
That might be my least favorite thing that he's ever done.
You're only like the second or third Patriots fan we've ever had on here, so hit us. What do you think?
I absolutely hated this Cam Newton signing with all my heart when it happened in the preseason. It was pretty much I'm like, let it go. Like, I like my quarterback to have like a usable shoulder. So yeah, I mean, there wasn't any hope for the pass before it started. So Newton's not the same. The mechanics look awful. There's no zip on the ball. It's painful. Bench him. Play Stidham. Let's see who he is. Oh, guess what? He sucks. Okay, great. Let's move on from him. So we're either going to look to draft someone in 2021 or be patient and look at that loaded 2022 class. Trade Edelman before he's freaking useless. Let's blow this bitch up, man. The dynasty's over. It's time to rebuild, but it could be a very quick rebuild with the defense having essential pieces. The line's okay. Could use some depth. It's a very spoiled area. We need to realize good things end. I do miss Tom. I would have liked to see him finish the Patriots, but it's time to move on. And Bill, I trust, as long as he can just give in and just try to move on from this.
Two things. I would have loved to have seen Teddy instead of Cam with the Patriots. I think that would have been killer.
Yes, I would have loved that too.
Second thing, I don't remember.
I also have two things. So, do you think if Jimmy Beautiful was there, it would be still going? And what the hell
No.
is up with Chase Winovich?
So
why?
So
why
the,
is,
That was my second question.
Yeah,
Why is he
so
losing snaps?
what is going on with Chase Winovich?
I have no idea what's going on with Chase Winovich. He should be playing as much as possible.
Yeah,
But the whole thing about Jimmy G is like he hasn't been good in San Fran. You know what I mean? He's had some good games, but the other thing too is after we traded him, we won a freaking Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, are we just going to discount the fact that happened? You know what I mean? Like,
At Joey the Tooth IDP.
what about him? That guy sucks.
Oh, yes, that guy sucks, and so does the quarterback that he's a fan of.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jimmy G's a solid game manager. You know what I mean? That's who he is. Like, no, he was not the guy to keep around, and it freaking ridiculous, dude. Look what the frick Brady's doing now. Like, I'm sorry. Like, wait, this is just move on. Freaking move on.
You fired him up so I've never seen this.
So stupid, dude.
you know what? Jimmy G would be a great husband, though. I gotta say it every week. Anyway,
He's got money.
he does, and good looks. All right, moving on. It's the week in review. It's where we review what happened in the week. It's all in the name. All right, so we'll each do our guys real quick and plow through this so Sean can go to the barn and watch the World Series. Overproduced this week for me. I got the Honey Badger, Keanu Neal, and Myles Garrett. Even though that's pretty much normal for Myles Garrett these days. Met expectations: Shaq Thompson, Zach Cunningham, Joe Schobert. Underproduced: Cameron Hayward, he'll be fine. Aaron Donald, he'll be fine. Justin Simmons, he'll be fine. What do you guys got?
Hey,
You go
Ron.
first. You got this
Ron,
first.
where you at? Where you at, hey, Ron? You did not show up for me, bro. You were absent from class, and I lost to Joey because of that. I am pissed.
Yeah, nature of the position, man. He'll be fine.
Oh, totally, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I came into that being like, he'll kill, Nick
Foles.
Foles a couple times. He'll
Right.
kill Nick Foles a couple times.
And he was responsible for a lot of the sacks. Did you see that play where they like triple teamed him and everyone else crashed through on the other side and
Yeah.
just annihilated Foles? Like,
Well, it was funny when Floyd got his sack, Joey sent me a message saying like, "Oh, I thought that was Donald," and I was like, "Yeah, I did too." I was like, I literally got up. I was so excited. I was like, "Yeah!" Oh, Leonard Floyd.
well, that last one, Donald went for the ball instead of getting the half sack, and that would have done it. You know, like, oh,
Yep, sure would have.
unbelievable.
Sure would have.
I got screwed too. I told you I was a half point away. Donald
Did you
could have
make
done it for
multiple
me.
trash talk videos on Twitter though?
No, I did not. I like that
All
though.
right.
It was fun.
Those were good. Good.
So for my over, I got Baker Mayfield. Like,
Yeah.
love him to death. 300 yards, 5 touchdowns. Probably not repeatable. My Met expectation, Stafford finally going over 300 yards was great. My under is so many people. But
Yeah.
we'll just go with Mahomes, 200 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, that was weird. They scored a lot just on special teams and defense.
Yeah, like that's not what you pay for. Running back, my over is Jeffrey Wilson, who's now out, where 112 yards and I think 3 touchdowns. Yep, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
So he's done now, so that's fine. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I guess, is my Met expectation, but like realistically, I think I would expect a little more than 14 points out of him. Although going forward, I'm a little worried now because Le'Veon Bell didn't see any receiving touches, and if he starts to see them, I have no idea what happens to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Also, I guess like honorable mention, met expectations. Zach Moss finally got involved, put up double-digit points. Underperformed. Josh Jacobs, Chris Carson, Kenyon Drake, Le'Veon Bell, Adrian Peterson, DJ Dallas, everybody. It was a mess. Wide receivers, overperformed. Devontae Adams, I did not expect him to put up 44.6 points this week and almost 200 receiving yards. Met expectations. Tyler Lockett, I absolutely expect him to put up 200 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, sure.
I planned on that. And then underperformed CeeDee Lamb. I think he had no receptions and like 1 rush for 5 yards or some shit.
Yeah, that's absolutely met expectations at this point in time.
I need to ask a question. All right.
Yeah.
You're in a win now situation of taking a title in the Dynasty League. You're offered Devontae Adams straight up for CeeDee Lamb. Do you make the move?
No, I take Devontae Adams either way. I love CeeDee Lamb, and I have offered 3 firsts and a second for CeeDee Lamb, but I'm still taking Devontae Adams.
On the last episode of A Tale of Two Rivals, you can hear me freak out on my co-host about this. Yeah, we were saying how like it's not worth it to make that move for Devontae Adams. I go, that's why I'm the back-to-back champ, guys, because you guys don't make those moves.
Right. You got to make those moves.
Right. It's about winning. Yeah.
It was really fun to text the score updates. It was like 38 points to 0.1. It was great. Mm-hmm. It was a good week to be right.
On top of that, it's not like Devontae Adams is falling off or anything.
Exactly. That was my whole point.
Right.
You know, if I said Julio, I would accept it. And
right. That'd be different.
Yeah.
Tight end overperformed. I got Harrison Bryant. Nobody saw that shit coming. Sorry.
Nope.
Met expectation. Evan Ingram, 17 points.
Yeah.
That's where he should have been all year long. No idea why it took so long. Underperformed. Let's see what we got here. I actually had to start this one. Ian Thomas, 3.1 points. Yeah, not happy about that one.
He hasn't really been involved all year.
Yeah,
I know. It's still underperformed for me. How about Hunter Henry at 8.3 or Travis Kelce at 9.1?
Yeah, the Hunter Henry one hurt a little bit. Drew Lock too. That was not pleasant. No, sorry. The other guy, Fant. There we go. Yeah.
No, Fant.
Yeah, I would say Tyler Lockett overperformed as well this week. You know?
He was my met expectation because I expected that.
Yeah, sure.
For me was Cam Newton, who I freaking traded for this week. That was great. And it's contender, super flex, didn't have a third QB. My QBs were Lamar Jackson and Dak. So I was like, I need to make a move. I ended up trading Cortland Sutton and was the main piece to get him. So didn't really give up a useful piece. And I got Cam first week. I'm like, I already hated him. And now I hate him more. It's great.
See, that's the type of stuff I won't do. Where like I played the Wildcat this week in 2 leagues where I was like, yep, I lost Dak. Lamar's on bye. Tua's coming up. Whatever's going on, I don't have a quarterback this week. I'm going to play it out, see what happens, and hope that somebody goes off. And I just win. And it worked in 1 out of the 2. But like, I won't do that.
I mean, for me, like, I just wanted a second QB to finish out the year, and you know,
fair enough.
I also have Stidham too, which was helpful. You know, on top of that, I also like it was 6. The guy who was in first was 6-1, and then I was 5-2, but I'm first in points. So I was like, no, I can't let this happen.
Nope.
And then I got screwed. The other guy that really broke my heart was Travis Kelce. I thought he was going to be juicy this week, and nope,
was not the case.
Was not the case.
Alrighty.
Dynasty Football Digest, your new essential site for Dynasty information. For as little as $1 a month, gain access to all that we have to offer. Rankings, trends, ADP, in-season assets, and a Slack chat just for subscribers. Purchase today at dynastyfootballdigest.com.
Okie dokie. It's steak or salad. Something you liked, something you hated. Sean, why don't you lead off?
My stake, I guess, is that I'm absolutely slaying it in this NCAA 2014 Dynasty League. Just crushing it, playing as Miami, #1 seed, loving it. Another stake is the end of that World Series game was
crazy.
Killer. One of the best endings I've seen to any sports game ever. I'm going to go salad too. Salad would be that the Lions are winning enough that they are not going to get a good draft pick, and they're also not going to make the playoffs. And then second salad is that Cyberpunk is delayed.
Yeah, you took my salad, you bastard. Yeah,
I told you you're salad.
I know.
I owned that first.
That is so disappointing. It really is.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. All right, Todd, what do you got? What was good? What was bad this week for you?
My stake was trading for Travis Etienne. I had been trying for about a freaking month across 4 leagues, and I finally got one, And my other stake is in personal life. My son is getting into basketball, which is my first love, and he threw me a freaking legit chest pass from 3 feet away, and he's 2.
Nice.
Daddy drops dimes, so he was all about that. My salad is Cam Newton's play for the Patriots, trading for Cam Newton, and having to talk about Cam Newton. So
you don't have to talk about him. You could have left him out of this segment.
I can't help it, dude. I'm so mad. All right.
Brutal.
I hate Cam
Brutal. Yeah. No, I love basketball too. We'll have to bring that up more on the cross team talk and stuff. I know Joey does too. There's a bunch of guys. Are you more college or NBA for that?
I kind of go across all platforms. I even follow high school a little bit. I go to the Hoop Ball Classic every year. Not this year, obviously. So I saw Tatum play in high school. I saw the Ball brothers play together. I saw Bam. I've seen Zion. So I'm into that. So $15 all day, money, dude. College all day. Big Tar Heels fan. Really hoping UMass is relevant sometime. Probably not. They're pretty good in the A10 though. NBA, I'm a huge C's guy, but I just love the game, man. I'll watch anything.
Yep, I am also a C's fan. Disappointing playoffs, but you know what? Like I'm supposed to hate the Lakers, but I am A-okay with them winning this year. The 4 Kobe thing, I'm down with it. I
also I don't hate on LeBron. I think that he's a talent to appreciate. I also think that dude has done more for his community than most athletes. Yes. I think Anthony Davis needed a title to get represented as what kind of player he is, and also the way they built that team with role players, legit, dude. That's how you build around stars. And with the Celtics, dude, they, I actually think they overperformed to a degree. So, I mean, you can't be mad when your 2 biggest stars can barely be legal to drink. You know what I mean? So, I'm pretty excited about that.
The future's bright. I'm happy we got college ball back this year too.
I am too, dude. I cannot wait. Wait. They dude, the bubble was the biggest success of 2020 and from sports.
Thank you. Everyone so many people I talked to hated the bubble, and I was like,
why?
I don't know.
It was great.
I was like, the bubble got me back into basketball. I love this.
Right.
This is great.
Right.
Perfect, dude. Yeah. It was it came at the right time. Like we had nothing forever. And then the bubble crushed it. Crushed it.
Absolutely. All right, I'll wrap it up. Basically, $300 in DFS. I'm putting in my order for the Big Bertha B21 with the graphite shaft and the massive sweet spot in the next couple days. Thank you, Fantasy Gods. And I'll agree with Sean. Cyberpunk delayed. Not great. Was really looking forward to that. It sounds like you're getting 3 playthroughs minimum because of the different character backgrounds and classes and stuff. Like, sounds awesome. So that stinks. Alrighty. I don't think he has the thing for most important waivers, so whatever. We're just gonna do it. All right. I didn't write down the trending transactions. I can read them off for you in a second, Sean, but we'll do defense real quick if you wanna start looking or whatever. Okay, on defense, Kenny Clark is once again healthy. I mean, he's only got dropped in the most shallow of leagues, but it's worth a look. Daniel Sorensen is playing a lot more safety than usual, and Honey Badger is playing a lot more corner than usual. So that makes Sorensen more consistent these days. Definitely worth a look. Okay, so there's a situation. Ronnie Harrison blew up last week, but Carl Joseph is just getting eased back into things, so don't fall for that. It's still Carl Joseph's job at this point in time. Hassan Reddick is filling in very nicely for Chandler Jones. If you need a big play sack guy, that's A-okay. The Alex Singleton Duke Riley thing is still in flux, so we don't know who it's going to be. Just add both, see what happens. Cole Holcomb is once again relevant, as much as that's interesting. Marcus Davenport had a sack this week. We told you to get him a while ago, so that was good. And Donovan, yeah, I know. He's in all your leagues. And Donovan Wilson continues to be a shit show for the Cowboys. But if you need a safety, it's not the worst idea in the world. Sean, are there any waivers you want this week while I bring up the trenders?
Yeah.
Higgins.
Almost everybody that's trending I'm into. Carlos Hyde, Michael Hasty. I'm ignoring Aguilar. Gus Edwards, yes. J.K. Dobbins, yes. Brandon Ayuk, Chase Edmonds, Michael Pirine. Like, almost everybody that's trending this week is good.
What about Scotty Miller?
No.
Corey Davis.
What was that?
Corey Davis.
Yeah. I figure Corey Davis is rostered most places.
Well, I'm just going off what's here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I know Aguilar's shitty, but the last 3 games, good lord, like, what is going on here?
I know.
Dude, he is literally that guy every year where you're like, you suck, but you find ways to score.
But he does it for like a couple weeks at a time and then he disappears. Right. Which is why I never trust it. Where it's like, yeah, okay, like, yes, somebody's going to go sign him on waivers. They're going to profit for 2 weeks, and then they're going to take a 0 in the 4th week, Yeah.
Pretty much you get Aguilar off the waivers. He goes off twice. You trade him. Same thing I would do with Jordan Howard every year.
But nobody's trading for Nelson Aguilar. Everyone knows what he is.
No, he's a great kicker.
I've never been able to get anybody to trade for Nelson Aguilar.
You make the rest of the deal happen. You just throw him in. It can just push the tide. It can push the tide, man. You just need that. He's just like Scotty Miller.
But you need to have somebody dumb enough to want Nelson Aguilar.
That person exists in every league.
Oh, yeah.
I have not found them.
Then you need to look harder, dude. We're in leagues together and they exist. Sorry, anybody. If you know who you are, I'm sorry.
You know who you are.
They are out there, yeah.
So the 2 guys that came up that I really wanted to touch on, Hassan Reddick is also a free agent this year after the season. So if you're in Dynasty, and I mean now it's a tough time to buy, but he's a good guy to see what happens with him next year. He could fall into something with more work, Gus Edwards has been the guy that I've been talking about as the cheapest stash you could get all year. Super efficient runner. Another guy who's a free agent. Another guy that could just easily fall into another job. And he's not going to cost you shit. Like right now it's hard to buy him because he's actually going to get volume with. I mean, Mark Ingram has a high ankle sprain. That's going to be a problem, But I really like Edwards. It could cost you a 4th to see what happens there. And whatever you're going to get in the 4th first, Edwards has proven he could run in the NFL. So I really like Gus Edwards. I'm putting some money into it. I don't know who's actually listening in my leagues. So some.
There you go.
Some.
Anyone else? Anyone we forgot?
The only other guy the 2 other guys I thought about with IDP was if Leonard Floyd's out there. I actually liked what I saw from him. And then Jerry Hughes blew up. His snap count's a little concerning.
God, don't know Jerry Hughes.
Dude, they're playing the Jets.
Right. They were playing the Jets. Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't trust it.
Yeah. No, Mario Addison's the only Bills, pass rush guy.
So for a stream, you guys aren't going to go with Hughes after like 1 week?
Give me Benson Mayoa instead. Seriously.
I'm going to play him out of spite against somebody.
I got you in one of these leagues, I think. I think I'm playing you in one.
I'm going to get me some Jerry Hughes.
You
honestly, get you some Jerry Hughes.
No, seriously, you could be right. This is just one of my brain is poisoned from looking at Jerry Hughes' stats and playing time for so many years and just seeing dog shit that it's like.
Since coming to the family, the only other time that I had a more negative response is when I said I liked Isaiah Simmons' landing spot, and Dan just flat out told me I was wrong. I was like, Dan, I'm not saying necessary for IDP reasons. It's an IDP podcast. Yes, I get that, dude. I just like him in that scheme.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't. You're wrong. You don't actually like him there.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, this guy doesn't like me. This is the first time I've ever been on anything for this.
Oh no, Dan likes everyone.
Dan's off, dude. I'm talking about like right off the bat. I also might have had a few extra pale ales that night.
Yeah, there you go. Alrighty, we'll send it over to the shitty betting advice in 2 seconds here.
The IDP Guys is your #1 resource for IDP information for your fantasy leagues. For as little as $1 a month, get access to all that we have to offer. Rankings, ADP trade calculator, in-season assets, and a Slack chat to get personal help all year round. Purchase today at idpguys.org.
Jonny The Greek.
Alrighty, this is sponsored by Statement Games, statementgames.com. It's a great game. We've been playing it for a couple of years now. Free to sign up, free to play. Spin the wheel every week, get more coins, more shots at winning coins for gift cards or our weekly tournament Sunday night game on NBC where you can get a jersey if you win your tournament. If you win your tournament, you get your name thrown in a hat. We pull a name out of the hat. We pick a winner every week. You get jersey of your choice, size of your choice, team of your choice, player of your choice. What's there not to like? Come on. All right, so we're going to pick this week's winner. I've got the Chewbacca goblet to pick them out of because the Cowboys had it across the table. Pull one out. We've got WRNDB411. Congratulations, you've won a jersey. Yay.
Yay.
Alrighty. We've got a bloodbath this Sunday night. I'm not looking forward to it. We've got Eagles Cowboys. Not going to be
a bloodbath either way, though. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Everything points to Philly just blowing our doors off, but you never know. It's going to be a shit show, that's for sure. The one thing or three things I do think will happen is Philly scoring over 25.5 points on our pathetic excuse for a defense. Carson Wentz passing for over 286.5 yards on our pathetic excuse for a defense. And Carson Wentz completing over 24.5 completions on our defense. What do you guys think about that?
I agree with all those except for maybe the yards. Definitely the completions, though, because I think that Dallas is going to put up points on Philly's defense, and I think they're going to be just airing it out.
Yeah, I actually agree on the yards, but I also think that the reason why is, like, I think that the game might get in hand pretty early, so there might be not as much of it necessary to throw the ball as much, So control the clock, run the ball, Not like they have bad running backs either, So
yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. Okay. Last week, so we're 6-4 on the season for other bets. We had Bills minus 10.5 at the Jets, and somehow they only scored field goals and only won by 8, even though they dominated time of possession. 35 minutes to 25. They had 6 sacks. They did their job on defense. They just couldn't score. And as Sean predicted a couple weeks ago, Josh Allen has come plummeting back down to earth. So, yay.
Yay.
Okay, so that didn't work out. Sorry. You shouldn't be listening to me in the first place. This week, though, we've got a real one. This week, we got a lock, and seriously, though, this should be a lock. Bucks -11 at the Giants. I mean, come on. That's a big spread, but come on.
That's a very big spread, but I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah, they're gonna murder them. It's gonna be awful.
I think so too.
Well, you think they cover, Todd?
Giants have defended the ball pretty well. I don't know. I don't know if I call that a lock. I would take the Tampa Bay too. I just wouldn't be as confident.
You know what?
You go 60-40.
Right. Forget the spread then. Just go money line.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah.
Sure.
There you go.
Sure.
Perfect. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Todd, why don't you go ahead and plug your shit?
All right. So I am a co-host on A Tale of Two Rivals, even though there's three of us. We decided not to change the title. We're going to be doing an IR special where we're going to be talking about how to deal with guys who, your Barkleys, your CMCs, your Dax. Like, what do you do to approach that? And guys to either avoid coming off the IR or guys to be buying coming off the IR. Dallas Carter. And on top of that, I've been doing a lot of Devy content. It's been coming out. So look for that at the IDP guys or the Dynasty Football Digest. On top of that, I'm always up on Twitter at FF_Banterman. Always down to banter, have gifts. If you want to strike up a rivalry, I will send a trash talk video to you.
Yeah. Awesome. Sounds good. When did you guys start that podcast?
We started, it was with me and Spaceman. We started it, I want to say, a little over a year ago. I think we're about 40 episodes in. FF Waller, Sean Kennedy's on with us now. We've all been in leagues together. Like, we're actually all been friends like for a long time too. So it all started with Sean, not Sean and I. Dave and I just had like long cell phone conversations about football. We're like, we should just hit record on this. So I think our first 10 shows were that, and now we actually figured it out. So I think it's come around. We have a pretty good following. I think we're pretty entertaining. I think what we base ourselves on is you will definitely hear some entertaining banter and some arguments between us, which is entertaining to say the least. And we do actually feel like we know what we're talking about to a degree.
Yeah.
At least I think.
Yeah. And you know what? We totally skipped all the normal bullshit. So when did you start watching football? What's your favorite team? How'd you get into fantasy?
So I actually started playing fantasy when I was I want to say like 13. I'm 37 now, so I've been playing for a long time. Yeah. But I started with basketball. Oh. My first ever pick was Shaq. Yep, and he was good. This just in, Shaq was good in fantasy basketball in the late 90s. So that's why I started up with that. Got into football when I was a kid. My town won 7 straight Super Bowls. So it was like, Friday Night Lights stuff, small town, 9,000 people, so that's how I fell in love with the game. But then Patriots sucked, man. Like, it was for a long time. It was like Marv Cook. And then I got really into Ben Coates, and I would have liked Drew Bledsoe, but he tried to run me over the golf cart when I was 12, asking for an autograph. So fuck that guy. So, So anyway, so that's pretty much the story with that, man. I was a pretty good point guard in high school and just slow shit. There you go. That's my story. I'm done.
That's awesome, man. Well, welcome to the team.
Thanks, man.
Did you play 2K?
I do. PS4's HDMI broke. It's very devastating.
Shit.
Right, well, when the PS5 comes out, we'll have to play some 2K.
I'm in, dude.
Yeah. Well, glad to have you on board.
Thanks, man. I was thrilled to be here. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, it was a good show. You guys got any parting thoughts and prayers before we wrap up here? Anything?
Man, just DK Metcalf, a chase down. It's beautiful.
All right.
Are you gonna need a minute, dude?
I just used a minute. I don't know what you thought I was doing.
All right, good luck.
I'm speechless after that. I'm good.
Good luck to everyone this week. We'll see you next week. Oh, just quick note. For next week, we're going to do like a week 8 roundtable mid-season thingamajig. So it's going to be a little different, but it'll be good. So we'll see you guys then. Good luck this week. May the fantasy gods be merciful.
At 10 your time.
Okay. All right. So we're recording. It's recording to hard drive. I think we're good. I think Nate wants me to play this, so we'll start with this. Then we'll launch into the opening question. Sean, do you want to do the intro thing right after this?
No, the intro thing.
Yeah. Like, hey, what is the IDP guys? Welcome to the IDP guys. We're the IDP guys.
I did not prep for that.
That's fine. I got it. I'll throw something together. All right, we're gonna start with this. We'll launch into it right after this video. Here we go.